So, why I think Jerry Banfield is wrong about Supra. Now, you may have seen the video. You probably have. He's obviously far more successful than me in the whole crypto YouTube space, things like that. He's probably far more intelligent than me as well. But it's okay to disagree. It's okay to have different opinions and things like that. It's not a hit piece on Jerry Banfield in any way. I do want to kind of look at some of the previous video titles, and again, we all know that you have to title things in a certain way. You have to use certain thumbnails, things like that, in order to generate any kind of click. It is what it is. It is that kind of a space. But he's saying that the Ondo will go to zero, Hyperliquid go to zero, Diamante go to zero, Bitcoin to go to zero. But obviously, the one we want to talk about now is this one. Supra realistic price prediction is zero. Now, he might be right. I don't think he is, and I'll explain why. So, there's a few things within his video, and I've made like some notes from it because I kind of wanted to address the points like in sequence almost. That he hates investing in anything new. Well, crypto's new. I know he loves ICP, and I've got no problem with ICP. I've got no problem with Jerry Banfield. I like ICP. I think it can do well. I've made videos on ICP in the past. It's not an issue. I've not got. You can have both, right? So by saying that he doesn't want to invest in anything new, crypto as an asset class is new, relatively speaking. If we all thought about never investing in anything new, then we'd all be on horse and carts, trotting around, reading books by candlelight. New things do take place, new things come into the market, and new things do make people a lot of money. Some of them go to shit. Absolutely right. I completely agree with that. Some of them don't, though. Another point that you made was the token unlocks can destroy a price. Yes, they can. 100%. 100%. I agree with him. I absolutely agree with him on that. There's no argument there. But the comparison to ICP isn't that relevant. This is the thing. So he's saying that it's new, yeah. But I've been saying all the way through that. Look, I'm not saying Supra is going to be the biggest project in the whole of crypto. I just really like it. I'm really bullish on it. I think what we're doing is we're buying potential. We're buying the potential of a project, what it can become, not what it necessarily is right this very second. ICP is far more established in that regard. It's had 3.5, 4 years since the actual token generation event on Supra. It's been since like November, so it's like 4 months versus 4 years. I mean, of course, there's going to be more things built on it. It's going to be more flushed out than Supra will be right now. I don't understand why that would be something that you could really argue with. He likes the team, but says it's too small. Well, fuck, of course it is. Of course it is. It's still forming. It's still building. It's still adding layers. ICP's got a bigger team, 100%. ICP's around a lot longer. It does have a lot more people working for it. That's absolutely fine, but it's kind of normal. This Supra is growing, in my opinion. We're also going to get into some of the tokenomics stuff as well, and we're going to look into some of the threads that I thought were interesting as well about Supra. He also said that the ecosystem is small, but again, it will be. It's building. It's a developing blockchain. It's a development layer one blockchain. It's very new. I don't understand. We are in development phase. He also said that a little more market cap. So he thinks that ICP has just a little more market cap than Supra. I don't agree. If you look at ICP right now, it's got $3.5 billion market cap versus Sui's $86 million market cap. That's not a little bit. That's a lot. That's a lot, right? The 404 stuff that he found going through different parts on the Supra technical specifications, yeah, 100% agree. The 404 things, they shouldn't exist. That is sloppy. I agree with him on that 100%. And Supra need to fix that and sort that out 100%. Like I'm with him on that. He also says that he wants you to listen to his music. I've never heard any of Jerry Banfield's music. I'm sure it's absolutely fine. If you do listen to it, let me know. Let me know what it's like. Is it something that I should be listening to? I'm more than happy to do that. Like I said, I've got no problem with Jerry Banfield. I've got no problem with ICP. I just think that some of the things he was saying within that particular video, which is that one there, feel free to go and watch it as well. I think you should watch it. Gives you both sides of the coin. You don't want an echo chamber, right? You want to get different opinions from different things. Like I said before, he's probably far more intelligent than me. He's probably far more experienced than me. That's absolutely fine. I just think that everyone's entitled to their opinion, right? So like I said before, ICP, like we know why this chart's like this. A lot of the Sam Bankman-Fried stuff has caused this to be absolutely horrific. I think that they were mistreated, basically. And I think ICP can still do really well. One thing I want to talk about, this is from Joshua D. Tobkin. So this is the guy himself, the founder of Supra. And he's saying, we read a thread previously about Supra. and this one is basically explained like I'm five, which I think is better for me personally. I don't know about you guys, but I like the idea of explaining it to me like I'm five. So he's saying, what is Supra and why does it matter? So let's break down this in simple terms. People who don't live and breathe DeFi. Think of Supra like an ultra efficient, fair, and self sustaining financial system running on blockchain rails. It's not just another blockchain, it's a complete redesign of how DeFi should work. We'll go through it step by step. So, point one, and again, he's trying to do this like we're five. It probably still gets a bit technical. Imagine you're buying a concert ticket online and you're about to check out, but right before you confirm, a bot jumps in and buys the ticket first and resells it to you at a higher price. This is how MEV, which is maximal extractable value, works in crypto today. Bots see your trade before it happens. They buy the asset first, making you pay more, and they pocket the difference. Supra stops this by making transactions unpredictable. No more bots cutting in line, no more hidden fees baked into trading. Everyone gets fair prices, which I think we can all agree would be a good thing, right? So what is MEV and why is it a problem? MEV stands for maximal extractable value, a fancy way of saying that blockchain insiders, validators, and bots can profit off regular users by rearranging transactions for their own benefit. It's like you go to a store to buy milk, but the cashier sees you coming, buys the last carton, and sells it back to you at a higher price. Now, this is the kind of level that I can understand with some comfort, right? So even worse, they slow down your transaction so their friend gets in first at a better price. This happens every day in crypto trading. Bots front run people, steal value, and DeFi becomes a rigged game. Supra fixes this with randomized transaction execution so no one can predict the order of transactions, localized fee markets, making it too expensive for bots to spam transactions, and fresh Oracle data, always getting the most up to date price and preventing price manipulation. The result, a fairer trading system where regular users aren't being ripped off, which again I think is good. So, what is enshrined automation? So, enshrined just means that it's built directly onto the blockchain instead of relying on outside services. Today, most blockchain outsource key financial services like liquidations, arbitrage, and price tracking to outsource bots running on AWS or private servers. This makes DeFi automation slower. Since an on chain trigger needs to occur and then a transaction needs to be submitted on chain, this can add seconds of additional latency. Supra is building automation directly onto the blockchain itself, no more relying on slow third party bots. Everything runs on chain, every single block, multiple times per second. The result is a faster, more reliable, and fully decentralized DeFi system. Point four. What are liquidations and why do they matter? So imagine you take a loan using your car as collateral. If you can't repay it, the bank sells your car to recover the money. That's exactly how liquidations work in crypto. In DeFi, people borrow money by putting up crypto as collateral. But if the price of their crypto drops too much, they risk losing their collateral, and that's where liquidations come in. The problem today, liquidations take too long, causing price crashes. Liquidations are done by external entities, which can be slow and inefficient, and people can lose more money than they need to. So Supra's auto liquidation system fixes this by reacting instantly when a position needs to be liquidated, using network-owned liquidity, decentralized treasury to stabilize the market, runs automation every single block multiple times per second. The result, it's faster, fairer liquidations, no cascading failures, and a sustainable revenue model for the network. Bonus point, sorry. Liquidation fees go back into the network to fund growth instead of being extracted by outsiders. Again, that's got to be a good thing, right? So what is arbitrage and why is Supra auto arbitrage a big deal? So arbitrage is when you buy an item in one store for cheap and sell it in another for more. This happens in crypto all the time because prices aren't the same across exchanges. Example, Bitcoin is $100,000 on exchange A. Bitcoin is $100,100 on exchange B. A trader buys on A and sells on B, pocketing the difference. The problem, private bots are doing this all day, extracting profits for themselves. Regular users just don't benefit. MEV traders get richer and DeFi stays inefficient. Supra changes this by making arbitrage a public good. So the blockchain finds arbitrage opportunities, trades are executed automatically in real time, and profits go to the network, node operators and dApps, not private actors. The result is it's more stable price across DeFi. Users get better trading execution, and the network generates revenue for itself instead of insiders. Point six. Right now, so why does this all matter? Right now, most blockchains depend on inflation, printing more tokens, high fees, and MEVs to stay alive. That's not sustainable. Supra creates an economy that funds itself by capturing inefficiencies instead of letting them be exploited. So Supra is built differently. Auto liquidations, stabilizing DeFi and generating revenue. Auto arbitrage, fixing price inefficiencies and distributing profits. Network-owned liquidity, so profits go into the system, not extractive insiders. And instead of MEV bots and whales extracting value from users, Supra captures that value for the entire network. Again, good. 7. The future of DeFi with Supra. So most blockchains are stuck in old models where bots and MEV manipulate prices. Mostly only insiders make money, and DeFi is chaotic and inefficient. Supra is changing everything by making DeFi fairer, less MEV extraction, faster, built-in automation every block, sustainable revenue flows back into the network. This isn't just another blockchain. This is the foundation of the next financial revolution, which is a big sentence, by the way. DeFi should work for everyone, not just for the privileged. Supra makes that a reality, and then it gives you kind of like a little kind of summing up that Supra is building differently. So no front running, less MEV extractions, no slow third-party liquidations or bots. Built-in automation runs every block up to multiple times per second. Revenues from arbitrage and liquidations go to the network, not external extractors. Supra funds itself instead of relying on high fees and MEV. This isn't an upgrade; it's DeFi rebuilt the way it should be. So that's bullish, right? And then we've got here, which is like from Lance Klaus at Lance_Hut7. So the alt markets are crabbing, and by the way, it's another shitty day in crypto. Things started off really well, and they've started to really pile down again, and it is depressing for crypto holders, right? But builders keep building. Let's talk about Supra Labs, a next gen layer 1 that makes devs' lives easier and shaking things up. What's the hype about? And also, I'll show you something that is building on Supra as well. Although the website isn't that great, it does have problems. I'll also show you some AI that have come through Supra that isn't great yet. It needs to work better than what it does. So until now, devs had to stitch together multiple networks just to get their dApps running. A headache, right? Supra changes that. It's in layer 1 with its own built-in Oracle, DVRF, automation, and Hypernova. Basically an all-in-one toolkit for dApps. The biggest flex is that Supra Labs introduced containers, a special scalability solution that lets dApps tap into the network's liquidity without relying on layer 2s, more efficiency, fewer bottlenecks, and faster execution. There's an example of that on the screen there. The mainnet went live a few months ago, and the first dApps, Dexlan Labs, is already up and running, a DeFi ecosystem with cross-chain support and smooth onboarding experience. The ball is rolling fast. I've covered Dexlan Labs on a previous video. Devs are eager to build in this revolutionary layer 1 because of the degree of flexibility and the robust tools available. Supra Labs also makes it better with the funding they offer devs with the best ideas. Do your own research, of course, everyone has to. This was on Supra, and it was Joshua D. Topkin at Consensus Hong Kong. I highly recommend watching this if you've got an interest within Supra. I imagine you have if you've got to this far within the video. That is a really interesting discussion. Might be worth looking at that. Also, this is the thing that I said about AI. So this video here below is done by AI, but it's still not quite right. Like it's quite obvious that it's done by AI. I think that there's still a way to go with that, but obviously Supra is not focusing purely on AI. But I've seen better AI do things like this. So I'm not overly keen on this particular video, but feel free to watch it. It is interesting, but it doesn't fill me full of joy and go, oh, well, this is great. This is how things are going to be from now on. This was interesting as well. So this is from Santiago Voss at Santiago Voss. Now this is bullish. It's like his opinion on where the price can potentially go, things like that. So can we dream? Why not? And I think we have to dream because we've got to hope for something's got to get better eventually in crypto, right? So I think Supra can be the next Solana. Now, I don't think it's going to be the next Solana this particular cycle, maybe. I think it could maybe surpass Solana in the future, but right now I think Solana will remain king during this particular bull run. If Supra manages to fulfill everything they promised, now that's key. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, they haven't done this, they haven't done that. No, they haven't yet. But if they do fulfill everything they promise, and if they do that, even if they fulfill 70% of what they're promising, it's going to be a huge gainer, in my personal opinion. I think it's possible to reach the top 10. Maybe not this cycle, but the next one. If we flip Sui, it would already be a huge victory. But how? So I want to show you here is he's basically charted this down. So he's saying that where we are now, and then it's 150x to flip Sui, 420x to flip ADA, 550x to flip Doge, and 1200x to flip Solana. I mean, I'd be happy with it flipping Sui, to be honest, but we'll have to wait and see how things pan out and how things develop. So first, there is really no guarantee that this will happen. 100% there's not. And many blockchains have promised a lot and do not achieve it, even with the best technology. However, I think there's a notable opportunity here, and I'll be brief as to why I believe this. Now, again, this is what I think. I think there is I think you're buying potential. We're getting something very young, very new, very fledgling that could potentially go and rival some of the bigger boys in crypto. Now, if you like Jerry Banfield with his ICP, if you're buying something that's already completely done or has got less room to grow, then you're going to make less gains. In my opinion, I think that's probably accurate. But if you're buying things really low, things that have got a lot of potential, and it does start to live up to that potential, then the price will go with it, and your X's will be a lot bigger than they are if you're going into ICP. Now, again, I've got nothing against ICP. I just think that it's already got a $3.5 billion market cap. That's a lot. Supra's less than 100 million. There's a big difference. So I think the answer is how it's in inverted commas. Look like Solana, but better, way better. Look, Solana takes simple blockchain concepts and make them easy to understand and use for everyday people. The simplicity of Bitcoin, be really fast, single chain, no layer two, a good wallet. Okay, so that's quite a condensed reason why Solana does really well. So as you know, Solana's kicking butt, right? Well, and I think it'll continue to. Obviously, there are many reasons and factors, but this gives you an idea. But there's a catch. See, Solana's users use something called SVM. Now, you're probably like, what the heck is SVM? Think of it like a brain of a blockchain, kind of like operating system on your phone. Solana's SVM is like Apple's iOS. It's its own thing. The other big one is the EVM. That's like Android. Super popular. Everyone uses it. And there's also the newer one, Move, MVM, which is pretty cool, but not many people know about it yet. So why is this a problem? Well, when someone wants to build a cool project like a new token, they have to pick one of these brains to work with. It's like a phone app developer choosing between Android and Apple. It's a huge deal because once they pick up their project, once they pick it, their project might only work on one blockchain. This means you, the user, ends up having to choose a side, like Team Solana or Team Ethereum, because your favorite app might only be on one of them. You become a blockchain warrior fighting for your favorite because it's an exclusive. This thing called Supra is trying to fix that, the whole choosing side thing. The problem that we just talked about, they're basically building one blockchain that behind the scenes, like the stuff you don't see, uses multiple of these brains, virtual machines we mentioned. So it's basically going to be using all of them, not just, oh, you can only get it on this, you can only get it on that. It's going to use them all. Yes, that's huge, and here's why. Okay, so I'll make this a bit bigger. So here's the deal with Supra from your point of view, the regular user. You wouldn't really notice a difference in how it looks. You wouldn't care what kind of brain is running in the background. Supra just gets rid of that whole which blockchain do I pick headache. You'd just see one place where all apps you like, and you'd use them without overthinking it. That's how it should be if you want everyone to use it. Now, you might be thinking, hey, what about those multi-chain things like Polkadot and Cosmos? Yeah, they exist, but they're a mess. They just make things more complicated. You're constantly jumping between chains, moving your stuff around. It's like trying to get across town by going through a million different streets and bridges. It's exhausting, and nobody wants that. Supra aims to fix that. It's like having one simple street to get where you need to go. All the complicated blockchain stuff happens underground, like a subway system, and you don't have to worry about it. You just walk straight to your destination. Think about it. That's how the internet, which is Web 2, which is what we're currently using now, works. You don't care how your favorite websites are built, you just use them. That's the ideal user experience. You shouldn't have to be a tech expert to use blockchain. I agree. Supra wants to feel like using Solana but supercharged. Imagine all the apps built for Ethereum, Solana, and Sui, and any future blockchain with a brain all working together on Supra. It's aiming to be the ultimate blockchain. Now, I know I'm hammering on this brain virtual machine thing, but it's what excites me most about Supra. But there's more. Built in oracles, Supra has its own price update, so it doesn't need to rely on other services like Link or Pyth. This makes it more independent. Internal data storage. They're also working on storing data directly on the blockchain, cutting out the need for other storage providers. Basically, Supra is building a massive self-sufficient blockchain like the Burj Khalifa of blockchains, and that's why I'm so excited about it. I'm also very excited about it. I think it's going to do really well. I just gut feeling wise, and obviously you have to buy whatever you want to buy. You don't have to buy Supra. I'm not saying it's going to be the best thing in the world. It might be one day, but I'm buying that particular potential. Let's be real. Right now, all this talk about Supra is just promises, but it's still super early days, and we don't know if people will actually use it. Plus, we've got to keep in mind that more coins will be released into circulation eventually, which could affect the price. Personally, I'm keeping a close eye on Supra with my sights set on 2030, so he's setting it for the following bull run. The current market cycle will be a big test for them, but I think the real potential lies in years to come. Can we dream? Why not? For me, I could quite happily see this ramp up, sell it, in this bull and buy it back, in the bear markets of the next bear market, because why wouldn't you want to take some profits off the table? But that's just kind of how I think about it. Supra, obviously, there's been issues about tokens and how many there are. They initially, the plan was to start off with 10 billion tokens, and it increased to 100 billion tokens. Now, the reasons why are very, not sketchy, but just the answers to this question don't seem to be very interesting, or it doesn't even seem as though it's really that well thought about. It seems like they just want to increase supply, which obviously I don't like that so much, but it is what it is. It has 100 billion supply. People were talking about, you know, the tokenomics being bad and things like that, and how there's going to be all these tokens released before you can get a real run at the price. But if you look at, this is like the vesting schedule of this, 12 months from token generation event, which takes you to November 2025, there'll be 25 billion tokens in circulation, which is what, 25%? I'm not that concerned about that personally. It may concern you, and if it does, then don't buy it. But 25 billion in circulation come November, which I would imagine we're going to be kind of touching the end of the bull run. I'm not overly concerned about that, but again, let me know if you are. I know a lot of you are concerned about that. Price right now, it had a little nice run today, and then it went and dipped again. But we are in that really weird cycle. There's been a lot of hacks over the past 24 hours. House of Crypto got done, which is terrible. So did I think Bybit got hit as well for like $1.4 billion worth of ETH. So there's a lot of negative stuff still in the crypto space. We did have a nice run, and it has dropped. So at the minute, it's still just above a cent, which, for me, I still see it as a buying opportunity. Circulating supply currently is 7.3 billion. Like I said before, by November, that should be around about 25 billion. If you don't like that, you don't like that. I can't say anything more on that. It's entirely up to yourself whether you want to get involved in that or not. Circulating supply is different on coin market cap. They said that the circulating supply is 6.4 billion. I think it's more likely to be the Coin Gecko one, 7.3 billion. Also, Houdini Swap, there is a trading competition. If you want to do that and get involved in that, you can win up to $20,000 in Supra. It ran from the 17th of February. It's now the 21st, so it's going to be going for another 3 days. Yeah, another 3 days till February the 24th. If you use that, feel free, have a go. Let me know if you win some extra Supra from there. This as well, I thought was interesting. So this is Pump It, a bit like a pump.fun, but purely for Supra. And I think these will get better with time. So it's now officially live. Pump is officially live, and it's time to mint, degen, and send it. Every token that graduates on Pump It is instantly tradable on Dexlin Labs. So it's nice that that ecosystem is starting to build. And this might not be great yet, but it is a start. They're trying to do things. Now, this is the website itself, and it keeps doing that. It keeps saying application error. So I don't think it's, maybe that's just my computer. I don't know. Let me know. Have a look at pumpit.pro and let me know if you can do anything on it. Because at the minute I can't. I can see these tokens being put on there and things like that. I think there's one of them, like Superman. That sounds quite good, right? There's a Trump one. There's Supra Dog. Sonia, which I believe is Joshua B. Topkins' cat, I think. So yeah, it's there. But when you go to actually click on something, now this might make me look a liar now by actually coming up, I just get this screen for a long period of time. So I'm not sure whether it's just my computer or whether it just doesn't work very well yet. I know we're obviously in early stages of this. It is interesting. It's like a pump.fun, but for Supra, I'm probably not going to really get involved with this in any way. I just think it's something that it's nice to see that things are being added, although I think it needs to work a bit better. But that being said, this is how I feel on things. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button. I'm not a Supra channel. We will start talking about other projects as well. It's just that I've had a lot of questions about Supra. A lot of people wanted to speak about Supra, and obviously there's been developments within Supra. So just basically trying to keep everyone abreast of what I can see. I love people's opinions on it. A lot of them are genuinely positive. Some of them not so much. But everyone is obviously entitled to their opinion. Again, it's not a derogatory thing about Jerry Banfield. Feel free, follow him. He might be right, he might be wrong, but only time will tell, and time will be the greatest tell on all of these layer ones and blockchains and anything that's developing and coming soon in the crypto space. So for me, I'm bullish on it. I think it'll do really well. I've got some, and I want to accumulate more. So if the price stays low, I get an opportunity to accumulate more. I'm going to take that opportunity. I'm staking in the Starkey wallet at the minute, so it's getting me, I think, around about 22 extra Supra a day, I think, at the minute. So that's nice. It's free. I can do that, and I'm happy with that. If you like Supra, let me know in the comments below. If you don't, then let me know in the comments below as well. It's entirely to yourselves, whether you buy or not. There's no financial advice on the channel. So wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, have an amazing day, have an amazing evening. And as always, I'll speak to you tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye.